So for the East, this is definitely a little bit trickier.
It definitely is.
Um, what do you have as your one seed?
I have the Cavs as my number one seed.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have the Celtics.
Okay. I don't
Because
know.
I think that the Cavs just aren't really going to give a crap about the regular season again.
Interesting.
Also, though, I'm just kind of concerned about how the Cavs are going to be able to gel with all their new pieces. They have like almost an entirely new roster, basically. And
I mean,
they have a
kind of.
ton of talent, don't get me wrong, but I'm
Ton of
just
talent.
not sure how all those pieces are going to fit together yet.
Yeah, I know. Throughout the show, I've been emphasizing the need to get chemistry down with these new players, but I don't think the Cavs are going to have worries. I mean, obviously Wade and LeBron
Oh, yeah,
are
there's
tight.
no problem there.
I think D Rose fits into that category with them
Yeah,
pretty
he
well
probably
too.
does.
God, they're just so deep.
I know. It's insane.
And when Isaiah Thomas comes back, it's going to be that much better. To your first point, I don't think that the Cavs are going to be content with a second or third seed this year. I think they realize how important home court advantage is now,
Uh huh.
and I think that they're really gonna go for it this year, and they have the talent to go for it too.
That could be. Yeah, they definitely have that talent. Because, I mean, if you put them in a 7-game series against the Celtics, I don't think that there's any way that the Celtics win that.
Even if they have home court advantage.
Even if they have home court advantage, I do
Okay.
not see them winning that.
I think that the Cavs might be worried about if it were to come to like them in the Eastern Conference, Cavs versus Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think they want Celtics to have home court advantage. I think they're going to go for that number one seed.
Yeah, I think that that's true.
Okay. I have the Celtics at number two. I'm assuming you have Cavs at
I
number
do.
two.
I do.
Okay, we've talked about that.
Yep.
That's pretty standard.
Yep. Who do you have as your third seed?
I have the Wizards coming in at number three.
So do I.
Okay, I think that's a pretty common. Oh wait, one thing I did want to mention is that I don't know what sources you were kind of like looking at in your list, but God, the analytics hate Boston this year.
Yeah, the analytics really do. Like they're saying that they would be like the sixth or seventh best team in the West. I mean, I think that's crazy.
Oh, in the West,
Yeah.
I haven't looked over to the West, but I saw they were projecting like fourth seed in the East, and I just don't. They had like the Bucks and the Wizards ahead of them. I personally don't see it. I think that they're just seeing the inefficiency of Kyrie Irving and just all of those just kind of offensive threats. No rebounding is hurting them in the analytics.
No rebounding on the Celtics is just brutal. Al Horford is not the same player he used to be.
They'll figure it out. I mean, rebounding is such a minute. Like they can add somebody like Andre Drummond to help that situation.
Yeah, we'll kind of talk about that a little bit later. The whole Pistons fiasco right now.
Okay, so anyway, Wizards at number three. We agree on that.
Yep.
I really like the Wizards this year. They were a good team last year, and they didn't do too much this offseason to hinder or improve. So,
yeah, I think they're just going to pretty much be the same team as last year. Maybe Bradley Beal takes even another step up, and Otto Porter does too.
Yeah,
we'll see if those three, John Wall, Porter, and Beal, can just kind of lead that team into the sunset. But we'll see
for sure. Who do you have it for?
I have the Raptors. I really don't like the Raptors. I mean, they're just salary capped up the wazoo, and it's just brutal. I mean, they're spending so much money on these veterans. They're just going to be almost the Philadelphia Phillies of basketball here in a couple of years. Once Lowry and DeRozan and Serge Ibaka get super old, it's just going to be a nightmare for them.
I agree. But you have them ahead of the Bucks.
I do.
I have the Bucks coming in at fourth.
Okay.
Kind of the complete opposite of the Raptors. Super young, up-and-coming team.
Yes.
They showed a lot of promise last year, and I think they're going to build off of that season. Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to have another great campaign. I think. I think Thon Maker is going to come into his own this year. They still don't have a true point guard. If Brogdon's going to be running there, you have Giannis running it a little bit, but I think they'll figure that out. An insanely young athletic team. I think it'll be fun to watch this year.
It's just so funny. Whenever you watch them draft, they just literally draft whoever has the most insane measurements. That's who they're going to draft. I mean, you draft my boy from Michigan, DJ, and
DJ Wilson.
Yeah, DJ Wilson. He's just got that insane.
Did he make the roster? Do you know?
You know, I've got no idea. I didn't even look, but yeah, I've got the Bucks fifth. I think that the Bucks are gonna be a really good team.
Yep.
We'll see what happens, because I think this all kind of hinges around how good Thon Maker and Giannis are gonna be, but also how healthy Jabari can be. Obviously,
that's true. I like the Jabari. No, I mean, I think we know Giannis is gonna be good.
I mean, that's true.
He's gonna be an All NBA player.
Yes.
Thon is a wild card. I think he could really improve this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the Raptors coming in at 5.
Okay.
I kind of echo what you say. They're just kind of. I feel like they're stagnating.
They're so stagnant. It's terrible to watch.
They switched out Damari Carroll for C.J. Miles. I don't know if that's gonna. I mean, C.J.'s a little better of a scorer, a little worse of a defender. I don't really know what that's gonna do for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're trending downward. I think they had a couple years atop of the East, but I think they're starting to trend down.
Yeah, I honestly I wouldn't even be surprised to see them trade one of their big names. If they could get them off the books, I wouldn't be surprised to see them trade.
If they're below that fourth or fifth, if they're hovering around 6 or 7, I can maybe see that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, speaking of 6 or 7,
mm-hmm.
coming in at 6, I have the Miami Heat.
Okay.
I think honestly, I really like the Heat. I think they could jump the Raptors at some point in the season if they
could be.
Possibly. They finished the season 31-10 after starting 10-31, but I'm anticipating them to build off of that hot run they had at the end of last year.
Yeah, they've got one of the best coaches in the league in Spoelstra. Sure. I just think that they just don't have a lot of talent. I mean, you have Hassan Whiteside, obviously my boy Dion Waiters and Dragic, but I don't know. I don't see them being that high of a ceiling. I definitely think that they have a pretty high floor for sure because it's very predictable what they're going to be able to do.
That's a good point. Where do you have them? Or who's your 6th seed?
My 6th seed, I have the Hornets. Okay. And then I've got the Heat in the 7th seed just because I think that they're going to be pretty well entrenched in the playoffs. I just don't know exactly what order they're going to be in. The Hornets, I really do like Kemba Walker, and other than that, though, their team's pretty thin.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call them. They're thin with stars, but I think they're actually pretty deep overall.
I think that's true.
Losing Batum for a couple of months hurts.
No kidding.
That's why I think I kind of pushed them down. I have them at the 7. I have the Heat above them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the Dwight Howard experiment.
We'll see how that pays off.
It could be either really good or really bad. If it pays off, I could see them moving up to 5 or 4 even maybe. They could be a really good team, but
it could be.
I'm not betting on the Dwight Howard experiment.
No, I would not. Very well. I would not bet on Dwight Howard if I was a smart betting man.
Yes. All right. Now the 8th seed.
The 8th seed is really hard. Oh man, I have the Pistons in the 8th seed reluctantly.
Okay. I mean that's fair. I have them at 9.
Okay. I can almost. Do you have the Sixers in the 8th seed?
I do have the Sixers.
Okay, I have the Sixers in the 9th seed. So I don't know. It's so hard to predict. It depends on how the Pistons start the year because I think if Van Gundy doesn't see the Pistons like making some form of improvement, he's going to want to be trading people, specifically Andre Drummond.
We'll save talking about the Pistons a lot for our segment, but I have specific feelings about the Pistons. I think the 76ers are going to grab the 8th seed. I was looking at their roster. They're actually really deep. Their bench is actually solid. They have some solid bench pieces.
They do.
Like Dario Saric is going to be coming off the bench now.
Goodness
they have
gracious.
Jared Bayless and TJ McConnell, Nick Stauskas.
Mm-hmm.
Not fantastic NBA players, but solid bench players to come off the bench. And if Embiid can play maybe 50 to 60 games, I think they're a lock for the 8th seed.
I think that's so funny that we have to preface a player being able to play 50 to 60 games. That just seems like such a minuscule amount. That's my problem with the Sixers, that you just don't know who's going to actually be able to play. I mean, if Markelle and the whole starting lineup is able to play at the same time, then I think that they're an insanely dangerous team. We just have no idea who they are.
I agree. So I agree with that. It is a little risky to say that they're going to be a good team because we just haven't seen what they could be yet. But I think that their depth, they have some good veteran leadership with Redick and Amir Johnson on that team.
I think those were definitely good pickups.
Yeah, I think they're going to help kind of corral the youngins. I think they're going to push into the 8th seed of the playoffs. Like I said, Pistons, I could see making a run at the 8th seed. Low key, I mean, I don't know if you remember this. I said this last year, but Magic or low key kind of deep,
and I think honestly they're not bad.
They have a lot of. I just think they need to keep developing. I could potentially see them making a run at the 8, but they would have to have. I said that last year, and they burned me really bad. So
badly.
I'm hesitant to say that again, but I'll throw it out there. Yeah. They could do something.
Mm-hmm. All right. So it sounds like we're in pretty much agreement for the most part on the playoff teams. It's just kind of a matter of what the order is.
And I think that's fair. Like it's
Yeah.
hard to like nobody's gonna say that the Suns are making it in the West.
No,
I think
although the Suns, I think, are an actually decent team. I think they're going to be decent this
that's where I'm disagreeing with you.
year.
That's they
um,
they still don't have the pieces.
I mean, I'm not saying that they've got the pieces to make a run. I'm just thinking that they're going to take a step forward.
I still think they're a bottom 3 team in the West, but that's
Oh,
just me.
goodness.
Well, who's you have the Kings are worse than them.
Yes.
I don't think the Lakers are worse than them anymore.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, I guess I don't know, man.
The
The West. The problem is that the West is just too good.
The Mavericks might be worse than the Suns.
Oh,
still,
I think the Mavericks.
but
Are worse
I would put the Suns then right at.
I
Right
think
there
the
above
Mavericks are just a hot pile of garbage right now. I mean, you've got Dirk and Harrison Barnes, and then my boy Dennis Smith. And that's about it.
That's your boy.
It's brutal. It's brutal to watch him. But
yeah, but I mean, in agreement for most of the playoffs teams, that's pretty good.